if there's such a concept as anticlimactic, I'm going to cut what I was going to say in half and just make one point to build on really the breathtaking words of Rav Lau. I'm just going to share one word. The Rav started with an idea that I was worried he's going to take my whole drasha, but don't worry. There was no way. But he started with Yetziat Mitzrayim, and that we have all these mitzvot to make sure that we transmit the history of what actually happened. And we live in a generation of Holocaust denial. And we also live in a generation where in part of the Jewish people there's Yetziat Mitzrayim denial. There's a denial that it ever happened, that we stood at Sinai, because if we believe that we stood at Sinai and God gave us the Torah word for word, then the conclusions are obvious. But there's a lot of denial. So we have a clear mitzvah. The Ramban points out that there's not just a mitzvah to keep the Torah, and there's not just a mitzvah to transmit the Torah, but there's a special mitzvah to transmit the Sinaitic experience. We have to transmit the experiences. We're a nation that's built on conviction, but it's historical transmission. And while the Rav is not so worried that the Holocaust is going to be forgotten, we have to know, why is it so important? Why is it so important to know that there was a Holocaust? Why is it so important to know and appreciate and learn all the details of all the destruction and all the sacrifice that Jews made in the ghetto for Jewish values, and the stories of Gvura, of heroism, is not just fighting the Nazis, but the heroism of figuring out how we can light Hanukkah candles and how we can figure out to get a piece of matzah. And that was heroism. That's critically important to know, because that means that these Jews lived it, believed it, they were carrying on, and that's our victory over the Nazis. And to appreciate the atrocities that happened, the Maharal writes in Netzach Yisrael 500 years ago, that the world says, how could the chosen people be victimized in such a way where with things that happen to us, they're indescribable to any other nation? And the Maharal writes that in the 16th century. And we just keeps going. And the Holocaust was the epitome of this. How could such a thing happen to the chosen nation? We have to appreciate that. And then 3 years later, there's a miraculous thing, and that is the state of Israel, which David Shapell, as a Holocaust survivor, viewed as the unbelievable miracle that if Judaism was at the brink of people throwing in the towel, 3 years later, we're on a euphoric high. So we have to know where we were in 1945 to appreciate where we got in 3 years in 1948. But there's another deeper reason why we have to know about all the atrocities that were perpetrated on us by civilized human beings. The German nation, the epitome of civilization, of culture. And they behaved to human beings the way people don't behave to animals. Incomprehensible. No animal could behave with such cruelty like the Nazis, and no animal could exhibit self-sacrifice the way the Jews did for our Torah and for our Judaism. That proves that there is a God who gave man free choice. We are human beings with free choice. And when we look at what human beings can do to other human beings, that shows the potential of evil and corruption, and at the same time, the royalty and the dignity that human beings can exhibit. And one of the things about David that came out in the years since he's passed away, and what the stories, and Yibad L'Chaim, Mrs. Fella Shapell, dignity. The dignity of the human being. And that's what free choice is about. That's what we believe, that there is a creator of the world. We don't understand anything about the Holocaust. Anybody who has any explanation, right? But what we can see is human beings that can behave like the lowest animals, and human beings to behave with dignity like angels. So we have to remember, Rabbi Yoshe Ber Soloveitchik in his famous essay, Koldo Dido Fake, says that a Jew can't ask why. Somebody wants to ask why was there a Holocaust, it's beyond our pay grade. So what can a Jew, and what does a Jew have to ask? What now? We don't know why it happened, but we're confronted now with a situation. What is our responsibility in the face of everything that we saw? And I think Rav Lau said it very well. Our responsibility is to make sure over and over and over again that we won and the Nazis lost. That's our responsibility. That's our capability. That's the eternity of the Jewish people. That's why the Maharal wrote his book, Netzach Yisrael, the eternity of the Jewish people, the victory of the Jewish people. And we have to appreciate how miraculous it is. And the idea of going from the depths of the ovens, and we're still around. And Torah is flourishing. And Judaism is flourishing. And Eretz Yisrael is flourishing. So we don't know why it happened, but we know that we have a great responsibility. All of you are living up to it, and you have to keep living up to it, making sure that we win, that the key to the future goes to the right people.